If you grow up with this awareness of science and, to the event today, we were talking about girls don't want to do science. I think a lot of what girls want to do is what their family encourages. My family always encouraged me to look at science and ask questions and find scientific solutions.
Cloud Moves TV is here with Irra Khi. She's the CEO at VChain, as well as a published writer with articles featured within the Tech City Insider and the Startup Bootcamp. She joins us now on Cloud Moves TV. Irra, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Now, you've come from a very varied professional background. I mean, you have a first in history from Oxford University. You've worked as a freelance photographer, and you also speak several languages, including Japanese, Russian, and Spanish. So how did you find your way to tech?
I'm afraid I was born into it. So my father is a rocket physicist, and I really tried very hard to not go down the science path, despite all of my brothers doing science degrees or pure maths at Oxford, as you would. What I found, though, is if you grow up with this awareness of science, and, to the event today, we were talking about girls don't want to do science. I think a lot of what girls want to do is what their family encourages. My family always encouraged me to look at science and ask questions and find scientific solutions. So what I'm doing today is simply a solution to a problem I had, using science and what I know.
Now, Irra, by your own admission, as someone who's grown up surrounded by technology, what do you think of this statement? There are two types of companies out there. Now, there are the ones that have been hacked, and there are ones that don't know they've been hacked. So what actions do you think companies can take to fight cyber attacks?
Sure. Well, the first thing to say is if you've already been hacked, then your defense against hacking is faulty. If you've already been breached, that's it, you've been hacked. Second thing to say is there's something called Hacker House that Jennifer Curry set up, which is great. And what it allows you to do is hire hackers, professional hackers, to do some penetration testing, which is to see where your vulnerabilities are, what you need to do to defend yourself against those. And for companies that haven't yet been hacked, this is a great thing. Because in fact, if you can do preventative technology, which is what we're building now as well, so my cybersecurity company is building a preventative sort of tech, then that's great. If you have to contain a virus or if you have to test for it, cool, this is what you have to do. So you have to go out and find the solution at whatever stage you're at.
Irra, you're the CEO of a tech company, and one of the panel discussion topics that we're going on here today at Women in Tech is examining whether or not companies are actually sabotaging the future success of their company because they don't have a very gendered workforce. It's very much weighted towards men. Have you ever seen any evidence to support this statement?
So the tech industry as a whole, of course, is very male-friendly and male-oriented, and I think the change that we do starts with us. So my co-founder is female. We actively look for female engineers. They do exist. There are now organizations like Girls Who Code, like Code First, and learning to actually be an engineer is easier than ever. And as a mother of a young girl as well, I very much look to people who are actually promoting the fact that, gender doesn't matter. It's your skill set. So competence always wins out. It doesn't matter what the status quo is. I think it's what we can make it. That's what the important thing is.
Now, when it comes to raising capital, do you think that there are any obstacles or issues that female CEOs, such as yourself, may have to face and deal with that male CEOs may never have to contend with?
This is a kind of current truth as well, and what I'd say it's a changing truth. So it is a changing state of things that female CEOs find it harder to raise capital. Well, it depends. If you're competent, I truly believe that competence does come through. So if you're technical and you're competent, that's great. In fact, as female CEOs, we have more soft skills. So we can read the room better, we can intuit better, and I know these are also stereotypes, but the reality is a lot of male technical CEOs that I've met are not that great at people. Women are generally considered to be better at being a people person, and so when you're raising capital, which is a human-to-human interaction, that's great. So women raising capital, men raising capital, it is a tough game because of the climate, yes, but women do so much better if they can back themselves and be confident, but just do themselves.
And Irra, just very lastly, why was it so important for you to attend Women in Tech today? And what would you say to those people who haven't been able to attend today and are thinking about coming next year? What would you say to those individuals?
The insight in the room today has been spectacular. I was actually not expecting this much insight about the female angle in entrepreneurship and tech, because you think as a female CEO, well, you just deal with it, you just go along with it. But number one, this issue being acknowledged as an issue. Number two, having some almost hacks thinking as a hacker now, I got some hacks today on how to deal with these issues. So the event is great if you're both an investor and entrepreneur, because you just learn how to mesh the two together, regardless of whether you're dealing with women or men. It's been really great.
Irra, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. That's Irra Khi. She's the CEO at VChain, speaking to us here today. I'm Emma Boyle, and this is Cloud Moves TV.